Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts, here to bring you live coverage of today's Lou Tompkins All-Star League 18 and under summer baseball contest between visiting Billerica and hosting Brookline. A big game with a lot of playoff implications here towards the end of this regular season. Brookline coming into this contest with a 9-5 record, Billerica at 9-7-1. So Billerica with a slight lead in the standings as it's measured by points. You get 2 points for a win, 1 point for a tie. So Billerica with 9 wins and a tie have a 1-point lead over Brookline. Coming into this one, Brookline trying to sweep the regular season series after beating Billerica at Billerica back in July, on July 13th. That game, a final score of 12-8 in favor of Brookline. And Brookline trying to get another win here, and they will be led on the mound by number 28, Michael Doherty, making his pitching debut for this season for this team. Leading off for Billerica is number 27, and the first pitch is in there for strike one. This one fouled off, an 0-2 count. I'm going to be filling in the names for Billerica as we go, going off of Game Changer. But number 27 did not play in the last meeting between these two teams. He's now staring down an 0-2 count. And fouls off another. Like I said, Doherty making his first pitching appearance of this summer. He is now the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15th different pitcher to take the mound for Brookline this summer, as that one skips in the dirt for ball one. So now a 1-2 count. That one is tipped and could not be snagged in the glove of the catcher, who I believe is Ben Doctoroff. One and two the count to Jamieson. Swing and a miss, strike three. Jamieson goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning. And Doherty looking like he's ready to throw a lot of strikes here today, as now up comes number 26, Calzini. First pitch just misses inside, ball one. That one in there, strike one. Swing and a miss, strike two. Doherty showing off a strong curveball early as a lefty thrower. Just a bit outside, ball two. This one tipped off, and Calzini stays alive at 2-2. That one's going to come in high, and we're going to have a full count to Calzini. Inside the zone, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts by Doherty as he just catches the inside corner with the payoff pitch to Calzini there. And now we've got our first familiar name from last time. This is number 11, Poirier. Poirier did play last time against Brookline as he takes ball 1 in the dirt. Last time he went 1 for 4 with a stolen base and an RBI. As he check swing fouls that one, a funny ricochet off the overhanging backstop. Bounces into the field, but you know, once it bounces off the backstop, it is most definitely a foul ball. And swings and fouls that one off for strike 2. That one in the dirt for ball 2. And he hits a high bouncer in the infield and could not be barehanded by Sheehan over at shortstop. Poirier going to reach on what I imagine is going to be scored as an infield single. I'll wait for confirmation from Game Changer. So it'll be 2 outs and a runner at first, as that is scored an infield hit for Poirier off one of the highest bounces you are ever going to see on an infield grounder. Now batting, number 13, D'Angelo, attempted pickoff, but Poirier gets back safe. The Billerica runner is going to have to pay attention as they're facing off against a lefty pitcher who can pull that quick pickoff move. And a check swing foul for strike 1. A lot of pitches being fouled off. D'Angelo, the third of these first 4 Billerica batters who did not play the last time against Brookline. It's a very different look that Brookline is facing against Billerica today, as that one comes in low for ball 1. The wind kicking up a bit of a dust storm around home plate. That one just a bit outside, ball 2. And this one is rocketed out to deep center. Owen Hoffman on his horse, and that is off the wall. D'Angelo going to race down to second. Poirier rounding third, heading for home. He's going to beat the throw home, and Billerica is first off the board off a rocket from D'Angelo. An RBI double that was just a few feet from turning into a 2-run home run as D'Angelo launched that one. Now up to the plate with 2 down and a runner at second is number 17, Mello. Mello did play the last time against Brookline. He went 1 for 3 with a walk, a run scored, and an RBI as he slices this one foul for strike 1. Doherty was very quick to get those first 2 outs on back-to-back strikeouts But then that high bouncing infield single followed by an absolute shot from D'Angelo. That one's low for ball 1. That one hits the zone. Strike 2. Hits a hard grounder off Doherty's foot. It's going to stay in the infield. Sawada throws back to third. Oh my God, they got him! Are you kidding me? Sawada faked out the runner at third and threw back to third and got him in time. That is incredible. I don't know what on earth they're going to score that on Game Changer, because I feel like that's got to count as a single for Mello. And then D'Angelo just got picked off at third. But what a zany play to end the top of the first inning. Keenan Sawada with the trickeration right in the middle of a ball in play to end the top of the first. But Billerica gets on the board off that long double off the wall by D'Angelo. And so as we move to the bottom of the first, it will be 1-0 Billerica. I'll be back in a sec. So ultimately, they do score that. We just got the scoring in from Game Changer. It is a single for Mello, but D'Angelo picked off at third, which makes sense to me. The way the legal ruling usually works in baseball is that if all runners reach safely on the play, then it counts, as a hit. And that is what happened. D'Angelo did reach third. He rounded third, and he was just a couple steps off it. And Sawada turned like he was throwing to first, and then ultimately didn't throw. And usually when that happens, a fielder will just, kind of stop like, oh, man, I couldn't make the throw, whatever. But then Sawada just kept playing and ended up picking off the guy at first. It's not the first time I've seen him throw behind a runner in the infield, but boy, the man just keeps on pulling out more magic tricks as an infielder. Truly a delight to watch. So we see Mello taking the mound for Billerica, coming off that infield single off the pitcher's foot that then led to the pickoff. And leading off for Brookline will be that little Houdini of the infield himself, number 5, the second baseman, Keenan Sawada. First pitch, and Sawada slices it foul for strike 1. So far this summer, Keenan Sawada with a batting average of just .222, but an on-base percentage of .481, a slugging of .278, tied for the team lead in walks with 7, leads the team in stolen bases with 10, and in runs scored with 11, and has 2 RBI as he takes ball 1. So Sawada struggling a little bit in terms of getting on base, not leading the team in any of the slash line categories. But as you can see, when he gets on base, it's almost automatic to move around the base paths and contribute to the score for Brookline. He is a guy that you don't want to put on the base paths. That one also going to miss. Ball 3. 3-1 the count to Sawada. And he takes a high ball 4. Sawada getting the Brookline offense started off right with a leadoff walk. Now batting the catcher, number 8, Ben Doctoroff. Throw back to first. Billerica certainly knows Sawada can steal. Last time against Billerica, Sawada was 0 for 3 with a walk, a steal, and 2 runs scored as he reached on an error one time. Takes off for second. Doctoroff tried the bunt, but it came in around his ankles and he fouled it off for strike 1. Doctoroff so far having a strong summer season. 342, 432, 368 his slash line. A team leading 13 hits to go with 5 steals, 10 runs scored, and 8 RBI. This one fouled off for strike 2. Doctoroff had a very strange first at bat against Billerica last time they faced off. He actually reached on a drop third strike, as when running up the first baseline, the catcher sailed his throw to first, and Doctoroff was allowed to reach safely. And then with Sawada at third and Doctoroff at first, the pitcher committed a balk on a pickoff attempt, which allowed Sawada to score. Doctoroff would finish that game 0 for 5, but still helped in a small way contribute to the offense as they continue to check on Sawada over at first. Taking off, and Doctoroff hits one, and it's going to drop. Doctoroff with a well-placed hit into shallow left, putting runners at first and second with the single. Now batting the center fielder, number 15, Owen Hoffman. We go from the team leader in steals and runs to the team leader in hits to now the team leader in RBI. Hoffman with 10 so far this summer as he shows bunt, whiffs on it for strike 1. That's the second time Brookline's failed on a bunt attempt this inning. Hoffman's full stats hitting for this season so far: 314, 415, 343, 4 steals, 7 runs, and like I said, a team-leading 10 RBI as they throw back to second to briefly check on Sawada. Again, they know the threat he can be on the base paths. Hoffman last time against Billerica, 2 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. As he fouls this one off for strike 2. Last game between Brookline and Billerica, a relatively sloppy game, as Brookline gave up 8 runs, only 3 of them earned. Meanwhile, for Billerica, they gave up 12 runs, only 5 of them earned. As that one comes in high and Hoffman checks his swing for ball 1. So last game between these two teams, they combined for 12 unearned runs out of 20 total runs scored. That one catches the high corner, and Hoffman goes down looking. One out now, and up comes the pitcher, number 28, Michael Doherty. Mello checking on the runners. First pitch to Doherty is in there for strike one. Doherty, as you can see, a very impressive slash line so far this summer. Team leading 500 batting average, team leading 583 slugging, and I believe he's second on the team in on-base percentage at 647, trailing only Justin Liu. 2 steals, 5 runs, and 8 RBI as he takes ball one there. Doherty did not play in the last game against Billerica. As that one skips in the dirt, and the wild pitch will allow both runners to advance. Runners now at second and third with one down. A 2-1 count to Doherty. That one misses for ball 3. Brookline hoping to bounce back offensively after a tough 8-1 loss at Woburn on Tuesday, where they managed just 1 hit. That one in there for strike 2, and Doherty going to be staring down a full count. Reaches out, hits a grounder over to second, fielded, thrown to first for out number 2, but Sawada will trot home on the RBI ground out by Michael Doherty, and that ties us up at 1 apiece. Now batting, I believe this is the shortstop number 7, Mayfield-Sheehan. First pitch high, ball 1. Sheehan so far this season, 333, 400, 370, 2 steals, 7 runs, second on the team with 9 RBI. Now tied for second after Doherty recorded his 9th RBI with that RBI groundout that drove in Sawada. Sheehan hoping he can add to his own count here with Doctoroff standing at third and 2 out here in the bottom of the first. That one in there, strike 1. And he lifts this one out to right, and it's going to hang too high and be caught out and right by Unzis for out number 3. So Brookline leaves one stranded at third, but they do manage to get on the board and tie this one up. Our score at the end of one is 1-1. So we saw, obviously, the biggest swing of the day so far coming from Billerica's D'Angelo in the top of the first as he drove in Poirier. But Brookline showing the craftiness so far, first with that pickoff play at third by Keenan Sawada, and then on a well-executed hit-and-run play with Sawada attempting to steal second, and Doctoroff hitting a blooper out to shallow left, right around the area where the shortstop might have been if he was not trying to cover second. You know, you could make, an argument that maybe the ball would have carried over the shortstop's glove, this or that, but Ultimately, he had no chance at the ball, and the reason he had no chance was because of the hit and run. And when you're a coach, that's exactly where you want your hitter to put the ball when you go for a hit and run play. Doherty back on the mound. Had an inning of peaks and valleys in that first inning. Opened with back-to-back strikeouts, only to follow that up by giving up 3 straight hits, including 1 run. And the inning might have continued had it not been for the savvy pickoff play by Sawada. Now batting for Billerica is number 8, Ronzio. That's going to be ball 1 in the dirt. Ronzio did play against Brookline last time. He was 0 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI as he takes strike 1 there. Actually hit the last ball of the game on what was a sac fly to right, but it turned out one of the runners hadn't properly tagged, and so Brookline picked that runner off at second base, and that ended the game on what was essentially a double play. That one fouled off for strike 2. And I remember at the end of that game, there was a bit of a question about, whether or not the run that came in on Ronzio's sac fly counted. And the umps told me it did not count, and so I thought it was a 12-7 final. But then the Brookline coaches corrected me later and told me the run did count. Ronzio hits a grounder here over to Sawada, fielded cleanly, and thrown to first for the 4-3 ground out. So that is the first batted ball for Billerica today that did not result in a base hit. Now coming to the plate is number 19 as he takes a low ball 1. I'm just waiting to see who this is. This is Unzis, the right fielder who caught the last ball of the first inning as he takes high and inside ball 2. And that one's going to be high. It's a hitter's count to Unzis at 3-0. That one in there for strike 1. This one fouled off, strike 2. Doherty battling right back from the 3-0 count. He's now got it full. Swing and a miss. Doherty with his 3rd K of the day as he went high heat on the payoff pitch for strike 3. Now batting is number 2, Diorsi. First pitch misses inside ball 1. And to be clear, this is number 2, P. Diorsi. Because there are 2 Diorsis on Billerica's team. As it takes strike 1. Both Diorsis played last time against Brookline. P. Diorsi specifically went 1 for 2 with a walk, a run scored, and an RBI last time against Brookline as he takes a low ball 2. 2 outs and the base is empty, but that was the situation back in the first inning, and we know Billerica sparked a bit of a rally in that situation in the first inning. So now here with a 2-2 count, we'll see what P. Diorsi was able to do. And that one gonna miss badly for ball 3. So another batter facing a full count. Swing and a miss. Doherty again delivers with the payoff pitch, and this time he puts Billerica down in order. Once again delivering back-to-back strikeouts, this time to end the inning. Our score moving to the bottom of the second, Brookline 1, Billerica 1. Mello back on the mound for Billerica in the bottom of the second. We got some notes in the live chat from a couple of our regular viewers. Barbara Jo Metzger coming in with the Go Brookline. And Peter QB 24 with Go Keenan, Go Jesse, Go Brookline. Happy as always to see you guys tuning in. Hope you enjoy the game. And it's been a nice game so far. Currently tied with a relatively low score. You know, we're not seeing any sloppy play so far. It's been very clean between these two teams through the first inning and a half. No fielding errors. Only one walk, no hit by pitches. And when you see that, you know you've got some good teams on the field, because there have been some games. You know, we saw that game Brookline played against the Base where the two teams combined for 11 hit by pitches. And like I said, the last time these two teams faced off, they combined to allow 12 unearned runs out of 20. But now, so far, we'll see if this game can continue to be as sharp as it's been. Leading off for Brookline in the bottom of the second, the first baseman, number 17, Adam Rosenblatt. First pitch from Mello misses low and in for ball 1. Adam Rosenblatt this summer batting with a line of 290, 405, 290, 3 steals, 5 runs scored, and 6 RBI. That one's going to miss for ball 2. That one in there, strike 1. Checks his swing there and takes ball 3. This one sliced foul, and we've got a full count. Just misses, ball 4. We've seen a lot of tight battles at the plate so far today. And that was another one that went to a full count, as now Rosenblatt trots down to first for the free pass. Now this one by Jimmy DiPaolo sliced into foul territory, but it's in play, and it's going to be caught by Calzini, the catcher, for out number 1. So 1 pitch, 1 out there. So 1 out and a runner at first, and now up comes number 25, number 25, Ellis Martino, as he fouls that one off for strike 1. Didn't really get a chance to go over DiPaolo's stats, but Martino, so far this summer, 267, 476, 267, 1 steal, 4 runs scored, and 2 RBI. Swing and a miss there, strike 2. And Martino lifts one out to left, but it's right at the left fielder, Poirier, for out number 2. Two down. And now up comes the right fielder, number 19, Ben Rosenblatt. First pitch, and he fouls one up the third base side for strike 1. Rosenblatt so far this summer batting with a line of 200, 368, 200, 1 steal, 3 runs scored, and 3 RBI. That one curves in, strike 2. 0-2, the count, 2 down, runner at first. That one just misses low, ball 1. Rosenblatt taking off, but Rosenblatt swings and misses for strike 3. That's going to end the second inning. Our score after 2 still Brookline 1, Billerica 1. So far, we've had a very well-pitched and well-fielded game, like I said before. And it gets you kind of excited because you know the batters and the base runners are going to have to really fight to get the runs when that happens, and it could turn into a really tight contest. I mean, it can be really easy to look at a bunch of ground outs and pop outs and fly outs and be like, oh man, this is, just a bunch of outs. There's not a lot of scoring. Obviously, in any sport, offense sells tickets to a degree, but when the defense is on, that means every run that's scored is being earned by that offense. Earned run, there's a reason they choose that phrasing, and it's because, the defense isn't giving you anything. You're taking it for yourself. And knowing that the offenses have to fight like that, in my mind, really lends into what the peak excitement of baseball can be, which is, this tight, suspense-filled kind of thriller of a game, where every at-bat is just a chess match. Now leading off, here on the top of the third, this is number 42, Li Pao. First pitch sent foul up the left field line. Li Pao led off. Lee Powell leading off here. He played the last time against Brookline, went 1 for 3 with a walk, a run, and an RBI. Takes that one to the inside corner for strike 2. And a note, if there are any Billerica fans tuning in, if you notice me flubbing the pronunciation of any names, or if I have any names wrong, or, you know, if you want me to include anyone's first names, just let me know in the live chat, as that one skips in for ball 1. You know, I'm always happy to have more information and be able to give more thorough coverage to the young men I'm covering out here on this field. And reaches out, hits a dribbler, barehanded by Doherty, thrown to first, and that'll be out number 1. That one of those accidental dribblers that if, you know, one of your faster players hits it, they can turn nothing into something and possibly get an infield hit out of that, but not that time. It'll simply be a 1-3 ground out. Now batting the shortstop, number 00, O'Brien, as he takes that one inside for ball 1. That one also inside, ball 2. And that one is high for ball 3. Hitters count to O'Brien here. And that's going to be a low ball 4. So O'Brien with a 4-pitch walk. And we cycle around to the top of the order with the center fielder, number 27, Jamieson. That one in the dirt. Bounces off Doctoroff, but runner's going to hold. That'll simply be ball 1. Jamieson, last time up, he went down on strikes. That one in there, strike 1. See, on top of the mental game between pitcher and hitter in a situation like this, there's also a bit of a mental battle between pitcher and base runner like that! How about the timing from Michael Doherty? Right as I was talking about it, he brings the slick pickoff move to get O'Brien at first. Like I said before, you got to be careful with those lefty pitchers because they'll sneak up on you on first base. O'Brien was, you know, trying to put some pressure on Doherty. Oh, that hit him. That hit Jamieson, and he gets to trot down to first on the hit by pitch. So a runner goes back to first. And now with 2 down and a runner at first, up comes the catcher, number 26, Calzini. Calzini, his last time up, he went down on strikes. Jamieson taking a sizable lead off first, as that one's strike 1. You'll see Jamieson, as Doherty's going into his windup, he leans a little bit towards, no, it's a pickoff throw. They caught him between the bags. Jamieson slipped and fell. He's in a pickle. And they're working the pickle back and forth. Jamieson gets tagged by Doherty, and that is the second straight pickoff by the Brookline pitcher. Brookline, the sharpshooters on the base pads, they have picked off 3 runners in 3 innings, 2 in this inning. And just like that, the top of the 3rd is over. I was about to say you would notice Jamieson leaning his body weight towards first base when Doherty went into the windup, but that time he didn't. That time he decided to be a little more aggressive, make a jump towards second base to take a bigger lead. You know, give himself a slight advantage on the base paths, but it backfired. And again, that's just the mental battles. You know, that's the strategy games that are part of this beautiful game of baseball. So we move to the bottom of the third, still tied at 1. And the Brookline batter's going to be trying to see if they can break this tie. There's the end of the warm-up throws. Just kind of waiting to see if I can catch a jersey number or something on Game Changer to see who this batter is. As Mello back on the mound for Billerica for his third inning of work. First pitch, and Ben Cody hits a grounder over to second, and that's going to be a 4-3 ground out to lead off the inning. So unfortunately, wasn't able to put up his stats there, but now we cycle around to the top of the order with the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. First pitch going to miss, ball 1. Sawada drew a leadoff walk back in the first inning. Later came in to score on the RBI groundout by Michael Doherty. And here he hits a grounder, but it's right back at the second baseman. Ronzio's got it again. And although Sawada makes it a race, he does not win that race, and it'll be back-to-back 4-3 groundouts to start the third inning. Now batting with 2 down and the bases empty, the catcher, number 8, Ben Doctoroff. That pitch in the dirt, ball 1. Doctoroff, his last time up, he got a single, but was left stranded at third. Oops. Apologies. That one in there, strike 1. And Doctoroff with a slightly delayed swing. He was still too far out ahead of that pitch, and all he could do was foul it off. That one just a bit high for ball 2. And Doctoroff sliced that one foul for staying alive at 2-2. That one just misses as well. Ball 3. These are some gutsy watches by Doktorov, but he's gotten his way to a full count. And he pops this one up. This is going to stay in play. And Mello's got it himself for out number 3. Through 3 here at Warren Field, and we are still all tied up at 1 apiece. Billerica had a streak of 3 straight base hits at the end of the top of the first, including a couple of weird bounces for infield singles sandwiched around that rocket launch of a double by D'Angelo that drove in the game's first run. But since that crafty pickoff move at third by Sawada, between the two teams, there's been just 1 base hit. And that hit was also a bit of a sneaky one on the hit and run by Doktorov. See, this is what I mean when I say that, like, the offense really has to try and work to manufacture base runners and, you know, manufacture runs when the defenses are playing this sharply. You know, outside of that double by D'Angelo, we haven't seen any particularly hard hit balls from either side. And so you just got to find what ways can work to get on base and what methods you can to move the runners along. And that's when the game, like the strategy and the mental battle of the game, really reaches its peak. And to me, that can be some of the best parts of baseball. We've got a new pitcher for Brookline. I just noticed we've got a new pitcher, and it's number 3, Ben Cody. Cody making his 4th pitching appearance of the summer, his 3rd relief appearance. He's got a 1-0 record. He's pitched 7 innings through his first 3 appearances with an ERA of 3.00, a whip of 1.00, and 5 strikeouts. So you wonder if maybe Doherty got hurt or something on that last play, as the first pitch he throws is going to bounce in low for ball 1. At the plate again is Calzini, as he's going to slice one right to Rosenblatt for out number 1. So Doherty leaves after 3 innings of work. Maybe he was on a pitch limit or something. But after Calzini, now up is the left fielder, number 11, Poirier, as he takes ball 1. Poirier got an infield single off a strange high bounce his last time up, and he came in to score off that RBI double from D'Angelo. That one in there, strike 1. So while Cody comes to the mound, DiPaolo moves over to third base. I believe he started out as the extra hitter with Ellis Martino out in left field. I believe those are the only guys whose positions I didn't say their first time through the order. As that one is low for ball 3. And so because DiPaolo, the extra hitter, comes into the field, that means Doherty can be switched to the extra hitter position and remain in Brookline's batting order. This one's a hard hit grounder. It's fielded by Sawada, thrown to first, and that'll be out number 2. So Cody keeping the defensive rhythm going for Brookline so far. But now comes the big test, as now comes up the guy with the hardest hit ball so far today, and that is the extra hitter, number 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, Oh, and I was actually mistaken. There's another defensive change I didn't notice, is that's going to be strike one to D'Angelo, which is that Doherty has been moved out to right field, replacing Ben Rosenblatt. So Rosenblatt might have moved to the extra hitter spot, as that pitch is going to miss for ball one. So a few defensive changes here. As this one skips in for ball two. That one's going to miss outside for ball three. A 3-1 count to D'Angelo. And he hits one foul up the third base line. We've got ourselves a full count. And it's another long at bat for another batter. We've seen a number of these battles taking place on both sides so far today. And this time's a hard grounder, fielded at third by DePaulo, thrown to first, and well scooped by Rosenblatt despite the low throw. And that is going to be out number three. And Billerica goes down in order. So Ben Cody takes care of the job. Had a little bit of trouble with the strike zone at some times in the top of that fourth inning, which can happen a fair amount at this level when you bring in a reliever. You know, sometimes takes a little bit of time to find their groove, but if they're able to elicit those outs, get through those first few batters, you know, maybe get through that first inning, then they can really potentially get in a groove and start to run with it. So good work by Cody, putting the batters down in order. We now move to the bottom of the fourth. Still tied up at one apiece. Mello back on the mound for a fourth inning of work for Billerica. Important to note that Doherty, having only pitched 3 innings, does not qualify for the win as the starting pitcher. You have to pitch at least 4 innings as the starter. You know, even if he had left with the lead, which he didn't, then he wouldn't have qualified for it. But also he left in a tie game, so it's going to be a no decision for Doherty. But he'll be hoping to contribute offensively here in this inning, as due up in the bottom of the fourth will be Hoffman, Doherty, and Sheehan. We start the bottom of the fourth inning now, leading off for Brookline. The center fielder, number 15, Owen Hoffman, takes high ball 1 for the first pitch. Hoffman, his last time up, he went down on strikes. And he lifts one high. Very playable, and Jamieson is under it for out number 1. So 1 down, and up comes the right fielder, number 28, Michael Doherty. First pitch, and Doherty rockets one out to left. That's going to drop in for a clean base hit. Doherty with the first base hit for either team since the first inning. That's just how tight and locked down these defenses have been. But now with 1 out and a runner on first, up comes the shortstop, number 7, Mayfield-Sheehan. That one is low for ball 1. You can see Doherty dancing off the bag a bit. He was kind of looking to see if that one was going to get past Calzini, but it did not. We'll see if they decide to send him. Sheehan, hard hit ball going up the left field line. That's going to be another clean hit. Back-to-back singles for Brookline. Put runners at first and second with 1 out. Now coming up, the first baseman, number 17, Adam Rosenblatt. Last time up, Rosenblatt drew a walk. He was the last Brookline runner to reach base safely until this 4th inning, as they went down in order after Rosenblatt and then down in order in the 3rd. Now up with runners at first and second and 1 out, hoping to make things happen. That one is going to miss for ball 1. That one skips in the dirt, but again, well blocked by Calzini. His role here is very important. If anything gets past him, the runners immediately move into scoring position. We saw what a big role that played back in the 1st. That one is going to miss. It's a 3-0 count now to Rosenblatt, threatening to load the bases with another potential walk. But that one is in there, strike 1. Got a bit of a breeze blowing around here at Warren. Some dark clouds hanging over the field as Mello takes a step off the rubber to keep the runners honest. That one is going to be ball 4, and Rosenblatt does load the bases with 1 out, as there's now going to be a meeting at the mound for Billerica, as Brookline hoping for a chance to break this game open, and the man with the chance is going to be the 3rd baseman, number 21, Jimmy DiPaolo. DiPaolo, his last time up, he popped out on the first pitch he saw to the catcher. With that out, he is now 4 for 12 so far this summer with a hit by pitch, a run scored, and 3 RBI. And one of those 3 RBI coming earlier this week in Brookline's win over Medford North End. That was his first game back in a little while, and he made the most of it with an RBI single. Now a chance to drive in the go-ahead run here. And he lifts one deep out to left. Left fielder on his horse. Is it fair? Yes, it is. Multiple runs coming in. Jimmy DiPaolo with the huge bases clearing double. Have yourself a week, Jimmy DiPaolo. He had the RBI hit on Monday, and now he's got a 3-run double here in the 4th inning to break this one wide open. Doherty, Sheehan, and Rosenblatt all come around to score on that shot deep to left field. And it's now a 4-1 lead for Brookline. And now batting a substitute extra hitter. This is number 18, Tay Toe, batting in place of Ben Rosenblatt. Or no, he's batting in place of Ellis Martino, excuse me. Got my order mixed up. As he fouls that one off for strike 2. So he might be subbing in for Martino out in left field. We'll check and see next inning. DiPaolo, no, Toe, excuse me. I'm getting my names all mixed up. Give me a second to write myself. Toe fouls that one off. Stays alive at 0-2. Tato, so far this summer, he's only had 1 plate appearance, and it was a walk. And he fouls another one off for 0-2. Toe made his debut for the team in Monday's game against Medford North End. Came on as a relief pitcher and got the save with 2 shutout innings of relief work. Only had 1 plate appearance after subbing in for the starting pitcher, and he drew a walk as he takes a pitch in the dirt there for ball 1. And again, Toe manages to get a piece of it to stay alive. 1-2, the count, 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th. With a runner at second, and Brookline now leading by 3 off the big hit from Jimmy DiPaolo. Toe hits a grounder here, fielded by Ronzio at second. Easy 4-3 ground out for out number 2. He does move the runner along. It'll be a runner at third with 2 down. And now up comes the extra hitter, number 19, Ben Rosenblatt. First pitch, high, ball 1. Rosenblatt, his last time up, he went down on strikes to end the 2nd inning. And he slices this one foul and out of play for strike 1. That one just misses. Bit outside for ball 2. That one in the zone, strike 2. And Rosenblatt hits a grounder over to third. It gets through the third baseman's legs, and in comes DiPaolo as Rosenblatt is going to reach on the E5. Now we've got another Substitute batter, it looks like, or do we? A little bit confusing for a second there. It looked like they were going to send Josh Kim to the plate, but instead it looks like they are going to send Ben Cody. Cody grounded out to second to lead off the third inning. And he lifts one off the first pitch, and it's chased down well by Ronzio for out number 3. But Brookline puts 4 on the board. Jimmy DiPaolo, the man of the hour, with the bases clearing double. And through 4, our score, Brookline 5, Billerica 1. At this 4th inning intermission, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to tell you about the Brookline Food Pantry. The Brookline Food Pantry provides groceries to Brookline residents in need of food assistance. The pantry saw a huge increase in demand for food assistance at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, and that number has remained steadily high ever since. The food pantry has been serving an average of 650 households each week, more than 4 times the rate of families served pre-COVID. Brookline Food Pantry is fighting the good fight to end hunger in our community, and they are always looking for more people willing to lend a hand, whether through monetary donations, direct food donations, or volunteers in the pantry. Food donations can be made at United Parish Church at 210 Harvard Street in Brookline on Wednesdays and Fridays from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Monetary donations can be made online at the Food Pantry's website, brooklinefoodpantry.org. You can go online to brooklinefoodpantry.org or call 617-800-5339 for more information about how you can volunteer with the pantry and help feed your community. Once again, that's brooklinefoodpantry.org or call 617-800-5339. And remember, as always, you can see all the information you need about our local charity spotlight down in the description section down below. But for now, we've got another pitching substitution for Brookline. Now on the mound is number 33, Josh Kim. This is just Kim's second pitching appearance this season, his first in relief. He had a strong 6-inning outing against Cambridge his first time, and now his first pitch is hit for a ground out to short to start the top of the 5th inning as Mello hits into the 6-3 ground out. Now batting, the second baseman, number 8, Ronzio. Another defensive change for Brookline is that Tay To has taken Adam Rosenblatt's spot at first base. And it looks like they've moved Adam Rosenblatt out to left and put Ben Rosenblatt back in right. So they're keeping things mighty confusing as that pitch is going to miss for ball 1. It's a 1-2 count to Ronzio. That one hits him in the feet, and it's going to be a hit by pitch for Ronzio. So a runner at first with 1 out. And up comes the right fielder, number 19, Unzis. First pitch in there, strike 1. Unzis, his last time up, went down on strikes. Ronzio taking off, pitches high for a ball. Throw down is in time, and they got him. Another Billerica runner thrown out on the base paths, this time by the catcher, Ben Doctoroff. And that's going to be in there for strike 2. So now 2 down, and the base is empty. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and just like that, the inning is over. Josh Kim, with a little help from a nice throwdown by his catcher, gets through the top of the 5th in short order. And we move to the bottom of the 5th inning with the score, Brookline 5, Billerica 1. And we are going to have a new pitcher on the mound for Billerica. We'll see who it is. Looks like we've got a couple of defensive changes for the visitors. I see a new second baseman. I see Mello has moved over to shortstop. And they've sent number 10 out to third. On the mound is actually D'Angelo, as he takes over for Mello on the mound. Mello pitched 4 innings, gave up 5 earned runs. Gave up 4 earned runs, 1 unearned. And now he moves over to shortstop as number 7, A. Diorsi, takes over for Ronzio at second base. And number 10, A. Rodriguez, takes over at third. In place of P. Diorsi. Might have been a substitution out in the outfield, but it's a bit hard to tell. Left field's a far ways away. And it looks like we've also got a new first baseman. And that's number 5. Going to see if I know who he is. And I do not. But I do know that leading off for Brookline is the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Sawada 0 for 1 so far with a ground out, a walk, and a run scored. Takes strike 1 there from D'Angelo. High ball 2. And that's going to miss for ball 3. 3-1, the count to Sawada. And a timeout briefly called. And that's going to be ball 4. Sawada with his second walk of the day. He's on the base paths once again, and like I said, he's been borderline automatic coming in to score when he gets on base. And he's now on the base paths with the catcher, number 8, Ben Doctoroff at the plate, and Sawada is already taking off for second. Pitches in for a strike. Sawada slides in. It was a quick throw by Calzini, but just a little bit wide of the bag. And Sawada wastes no time moving into scoring position. And D'Angelo turns around to try and keep Sawada honest. They're not putting the idea of stealing third past him. That pitch comes in low for ball 1. Doctoroff 1 for 2 so far today. He has singled and popped out to the pitcher. Slices this one foul. Is it going to stay playable? And no, it's not. It's out of play. One and two. Now the count to Doctoroff. That one's going to miss. Ball two. And that one inside for ball three. Doctoroff showing his patience at the plate once again, working to a full count. Hits a dribbler up the third base line. It's dying on the grass, and there is no chance there. Rodriguez couldn't pick that one up off the grass. And that'll either go as an infield single or an E5. I imagine they're going to score it as a single. But I'll wait and see if I can catch what Game Changer scores it, while also calling the next batter, the center fielder, number 15, Owen Hoffman. Throw back to first to check on Doctoroff. He dives back. Hoffman 0 for 2 so far today. A fly out to center and a strikeout. Doctoroff taking off for second. Pitches high for a ball. Throw down to second. Doctoroff slides in safe with a steal. Sawada deciding to hold at third despite them going a full throw down to second. But Doctoroff able to make it safely. Now 2 runners in scoring position for Hoffman. And just to clarify, Game Changer did have that Doctoroff hit as a base hit, which I would agree with. That one is low, well blocked by Calzini. Calzini been doing a good job since the first inning. No wild pitches have gotten past him. That one outside, ball 3. 1 ball away from loading the bases with a 3-0 count to Hoffman. All the infielders up on the edge of the grass with 2 runners in scoring position. And Hoffman takes that one for strike 1. That one's in there for strike 2. Hoffman thought he had a walk. He's got to be careful. He's gone down looking once already today. And now he's staring down a full count. Swing and a miss. Hoffman goes down swinging this time. And that'll be the first out of the inning. Now batting, the extra hitter, number 28, Michael Doherty. Doherty 1 for 2 so far today with a run and an RBI, as he takes ball 1 outside. He singled his last time up as part of that 4th inning rally, came in to score off that bases clearing double by Jimmy DiPaolo, and he also had the RBI ground out back in the 1st inning. Takes that one high for ball 2. Doherty was up in much the same situation back in the 1st inning. 1 out, Sawada at third, Doctoroff at second. as that one curves in nicely from D'Angelo for strike one. Two and one the count, one down, runners at second and third, infield in. 5-1, Brookline currently leads. That one inside for ball three. The breeze blowing towards home plate and a bit out towards third base and left field out here at Warren. That one's going to come in low for ball four. Doherty walks to load the bases. And with the bases loaded and one down, up comes the shortstop, number 7, Mayfield-Sheehan. Sheehan 1 for 2 himself with a single his last time up. Also scored on DePaulo's double. So he's 1 for 2 with a run. And that one sails, but a nice ricochet off the backstop holds the runners. Boy, that's one of those ones that just completely slipped out of his hand. It didn't even come in all that fast, just completely left his hand on that one. 1-0 the count. Fouls that one off, strike one. Sheehan appeared to be a little bit behind that one, as D'Angelo went for what appeared to be a high inside heat. 1-1 the count. Sawada at third, Doctoroff at second, Doherty at first. That one curves in nicely for strike two. That one misses low and away, ball two. Swing and a miss, caught him with the off speed, and Sheehan goes down swinging. Now with two down and the bases loaded, we've got another new batter batting in place of Adam Rosenblatt. I'm trying to see who it is. This might be Colin Gibbons, I'm not sure. But either way, this new batter takes strike one. Gonna see if, and it's Colin Gibbons. And he lifts one out to right. And it's out of reach of the second baseman. Two runners come in to score as they were going on the swing. And Brookline makes it 7-1. I'm going to have to check and see what Game Changer scores that one as that one was just off the glove of the second baseman. Sawada and Doctoroff both come in to score. Now at the plate is the third baseman, number 21, Jimmy DePaulo. He takes strike one. They score that a single for Gibbons. And I can certainly agree with that call. It wasn't the easiest playable ball for the second baseman, as D'Angelo throws back to first to check on Gibbons. So a two-run single for Gibbons. Scores Sawada and Doctoroff. Doherty down to third. And DePaulo rockets one deep out to right. But it's caught by the right fielder. And that will end the inning. Brookline further extends the lead off the big 2-out hit from Gibbons. At the end of 5, the score, Brookline 7, Billerica 1. And I'm just going to have to wait and see what the defensive alignments are in this inning, because Brookline's been playing musical chairs with their roster today. Guys coming in and out and in. It's been crazy. But I'll do my best to keep track of it as Kim returns to the mound for another inning of relief work. Due up for Billerica are the 8, 9, 10 hitters. Normally it'd be P. Diorsi, Lipao, and O'Brien, but they had a fair number of substitutions themselves. And so I really have no idea. Adam Rosenblatt back out in left field after being hit for by Gibbons, so maybe that was a one-time pinch hit kind of situation. Boy, just try and keep track of all these substitutions. I dare you. Leading off for Billerica, batting in place of P. Diorsi, will be number 10, A. Rodriguez. First pitch, and he lines it right through the gap into right field. Rosenblatt tries, and he got him! Oh my gosh! Add another fantastic throw on the base paths to the count for Brookline. This one by the right fielder, Ben Rosenblatt, giving him the rare 9-3 groundout. First pitch to the new batter is strike one. This is number 5. Game Changer didn't even know what to do with that one. They called it a line out, which it absolutely was not. But either way, at the plate is the first baseman, number 5, Boldebuck, and he goes down quickly on 3 strikes. So that's 2 down. And strike 1 to O'Brien. Not sure what position he's playing right now since Mello took his spot at short. Maybe he's the extra hitter. Again, so many substitutions. So wonder just trying to keep track of them all. But boy, what a defensive day for Brookline so far. They've caught about 5 guys on the base paths if you include that 9-3 ground out there. And this is a pop-up, and Sawada is going to chase it down for out number 3. That pop-up was almost into no man's land as Toe, the first baseman, went to cover first. But don't count out the speed of Keenan Sawada. We move to the bottom of the 6th now. Score still Brookline 7, Billerica 1. D'Angelo returns to the mound for another inning of work for Billerica. Due up for Brookline. I mean, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. We've had a number of substitutions, so I'm not even gonna guess at this point. Warm-ups end. And now we start the bottom of the 6th. And I'm not sure who's batting. It appears to be Martino again, as he swings and misses for strike 1. Fouls this one off for strike 2. I'm trying to remember who was hitting in place of him. Last time it was Toe. So Martino takes Toe's spot in the lineup. Back, I guess. Again, these substitutions are breaking my brain. But either way, Martino back at the plate, and he's staring down a 1-2 count. As he takes that one high for ball 2. And ball 3, just a bit outside. Fouls that one off, stays alive with a full count. And that one sails in way high, and Martino is going to have a leadoff walk. And now a substitution for Brookline. We got another new pinch hitter. This is number 34, Nico Hart. He will be batting in place of Ben Rosenblatt. First pitch, and he pops it. Going to stay in the infield, and it's going to be caught by the shortstop for out number 1. Now batting, I believe this is the pitcher, number 33, Josh Kim, batting in place of Ben Cody. As he takes ball 1. Kim so far this season, 2 for 6, 1 walk, 1 steal, 2 runs, and 1 RBI. This takes high ball 2. That one tipped for strike 1. That one comes in high for ball 3. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Full count now to Kim. Attempted pickoff move, and Martino dives back. That one high, and that's going to be ball 4. Two runners on now for Brookline as they cycle around to the top of the order with the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Sawada 0 for 1 with 2 walks and 2 runs scored. And he takes ball 1 there. And this one sliced foul for strike 1. That one high for ball 2. This one lifted. I believe that's in foul territory, and it's going to be out of reach of all the pursuing fielders for strike 2. Slice that one foul again, stays alive at 2-2. That one inside, ball 3. Full count to Sawada. And that's ball 4. Sawada with his 3rd walk of the day, and he loads the bases with 1 out for the catcher, number 8, Ben Doctoroff. And now the coach coming out to talk to D'Angelo. Again, looking at the current standings for the Lou Tompkins A Division, Reading Red firmly in first place with a 14-0-1 record for 29 points. Again, 2 points for each win, 1 point for each tie. Cambridge in second with a 12-5 record. Waltham currently in third at 11-6. Woburn in fourth at 10-5. Billerica in sixth at 9-7-1. Brookline after that at 9-5. But Brookline, if they pull off the win today, they will jump Billerica in the standings as Doctoroff fouls off strike one. And if they jump Billerica in the standings, that would put them at 5th place. So they would still have a road game to start the playoffs. Of course, there is a scheduled makeup game tomorrow for Brookline against Belmont Watertown. But there's a good chance of rain tomorrow, so we'll see. Swing and a miss there. Doctoroff behind in the count 0-2. Doctoroff 2 for 3 so far today with 1 run scored. Makes contact, his grounder back to the pitcher. D'Angelo's going to throw home to get the lead runner, and they throw to first for the double play. The Billerica defense gets it done with the 1-2-3 double play. And Brookline not able to add to their lead despite loading the bases. Good play by Billerica's defense there, but their offense is going to need a lot if they want to try and come back here in this 7th and final inning. Our score here at Warren Field at the end of 6, Brookline 7, Billerica 1. Josh Kim returning to the mound, trying to finish this one off. And if he does finish this one out, then Kim would actually earn the save, because one of the more obscure ways you can earn a save is by pitching at least 3 innings of relief and finishing the game for the winning team. The winning pitcher, if leads do not change, would actually be Ben Cody, because even though he only pitched 1 inning for Brookline, he was the pitcher on record when Brookline took the lead in the bottom of the 4th. Because the 1 inning that Cody pitched was the top of the 4th. So just a little bit of stat-keeping knowledge there. Looks like they've put Adam Rosenblatt back at first base for Brookline. First pitch to Jamieson is fouled off for strike 1. Jamieson, the center fielder. Last time up, he was hit by a pitch, but then picked off at first. And here he skies one into shallow center. Sawada calls for it and takes it for out number 1. Now up is the catcher, number 26, Calzini, who made that throw to first to complete the 1-2-3 double play in the bottom of the 6th. He's had a nice day defensively behind the plate. At the plate so far today, 0 for 2. Swing and a miss there for strike 2. It's a 1-2 count. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Josh Kim blazing his way through the Billerica lineup. And now the last chance for Billerica, the left fielder, number 11, Poirier. Takes strike 1. Poirier 1 for 2 so far today. Of course, he had that infield single off that really absurdly high hop back in the first inning and then came in to score on the RBI double by D'Angelo. That is right now still the only run for Billerica so far today. Slices this one foul for strike 2. Billerica down to their final strike. In there, strike 3, and that is your ball game. Brookline with a very strong defensive outing. They take care of business and hold off Billerica. Final score, Brookline 7, Billerica 1. So with that win, Brookline improves to 10-5 on the season. Billerica falls to 9-8-1. Brookline hops past Billerica in the standings by 1 point. You know, where they stand in the standings is going to depend on, you know, the other teams that play today. Though, honestly, I don't think they can get higher than 5th place in the standings since 4th place right now is Woburn. And even if Brookline tied them in terms of points, Woburn would have the tiebreaker, having swept Brookline in both of their games played this season. Brookline scheduled for a makeup game against Belmont Watertown back here at Warren Field tomorrow at the standard time of 5:45. But that is going to depend on the weather, so we're going to keep an eye on things. But for right now, stay tuned for that. But I'm just going to wrap this up by recapping this game really quick. And then I'll play us out. In the top of the first inning, Billerica put together a bit of a 2-out rally, an infield single by Poirier, followed up by an absolute moonshot of a double off the left field wall by D'Angelo to drive in Poirier, make it a 1-0 ball game. Mello got an infield single after hitting it off the pitcher's foot, but D'Angelo was caught with his feet off the third base bag on a heads-up play by Keenan Sawada to end the top of the first inning. Bottom of the first, Sawada got the scoring started for Brookline. He drew a walk, moved to second on a single by Ben Doktoroff, advanced to third on a wild pitch, and then came in to score on an RBI groundout by Michael Doherty, tying the game up at 1. It would stay at 1-1 for quite a bit. Top of the second, Billerica went down in order. Bottom of the second, Brookline got a leadoff walk, but then went down in order. Top of the third, again, Brookline with the crafty ways to get batters out. They got one on a ground out, but then they got two runners, I should say, back-to-back on some nice pickoff moves at first by the pitcher, Michael Doherty, to end the top of the third. Bottom of the third, Brookline goes down in order. Top of the fourth, Billerica goes down in order. Ben Cody took over on the mound and pitched that lone inning for Brookline, which would actually get him the win, as it was the bottom of the fourth when Brookline put things together. Back-to-back one-out singles by Michael Doherty and Caden Sheehan, and then a follow-up walk by Adam Rosenblatt loaded the bases for Jimmy DiPaolo, who laced one down the left field line fair for a bases-clearing double to break open the score and put Brookline up 4-1. Two batters later, with DiPaolo now at third, Ben Rosenblatt reached on an error, grounding one through the legs of the third baseman, and DiPaolo came in to score, making it 5-1 at the end of 4. Top of the fifth, Billerica got only one base runner on, and that base runner was thrown out trying to steal second. Bottom of the fifth, Brookline added another couple of runs to their lead. Again, Sawada and Doktoroff with a walk and single respectively to get on the base paths. Doherty this time walked to load the bases, and then with 2 outs, it was a pinch hitter in Colin Gibbons who lifted a single out to shallow right just out of reach of the second baseman's glove to drive in Sawada and Doktoroff to make it 7-1. And that would be the last score from either team. In the top of the 6th, Billerica went down in order, including a rare 9-3 ground out off a nice throw from right field by Ben Rosenblatt. Bottom of the 6th, Brookline managed to load the bases on a trio of walks, but Billerica had a nice defensive play with a 1-2-3 double play to end that inning. But then in the top of the 7th, Billerica once again went down in order as Josh Kim finished his 3rd inning of relief to earn the save. So Cody with the win, Kim with the save, Mello with the loss on the mound. And that's going to do it here at Warren Field. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Remember, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams, including tomorrow's potential makeup game. Again, we're going to see what the weather has in store for us. But right now, there is a makeup game scheduled tomorrow between Brookline and Belmont-Watertown. So be sure to stay tuned for that. And, of course, the playoffs starting next week. Subscribe to the channel can help. If there's anything you'd like to say, but the live stream is over, first off, thanks to those of you who brought the good vibes in the live chat today. But if you want to say something after the live stream is over, you can say it in the comment section down below. Also go down below to the description section to find all the information you need about our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Food Pantry. And then go to the bottom right corner of your screen for some more information about me. You can find the URL to my personal website, jessesports.com, where you can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. You can also email me directly with any questions or requests you may have, and you can also follow me on Instagram, where I post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that is going to do it. Final score, Brookline 7, Billerica 1. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan from Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.